Hello, my friend. I'm really happy you're here today. Before we start, I want to ask you one small question. Have you ever spoken perfect English only inside your head? Maybe while you were walking to work. Maybe while driving home. Maybe while waiting for your coffee. In your mind, the words came easily. You sounded confident. You knew exactly what to say. But then, a real person smiled at you and asked, "How's your day going?" Suddenly, your mind became quiet. You knew the words, but they didn't come out. If this has happened to you, please stay with me today, because this episode is especially for you. And here's something important. Even if your life feels busy, even if you only have a few free minutes, even if you feel shy when speaking, even if you don't live in the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, or Europe, you can still become a confident English speaker. Not by studying harder, not by memorizing hundreds of grammar rules, and not by waiting until you feel ready. Because almost nobody feels ready. They simply begin. Here's another surprise. Many people believe they need a perfect accent before they can speak. That isn't true. People don't remember perfect grammar. They remember clear communication, a warm smile, a simple answer, a real conversation. So today, I won't give you difficult lessons. Instead, I'll sit with you like a friend. We'll think together. We'll speak together. And little by little, you'll feel English becoming more natural. Not in one night, but one small step at a time. And those small steps can change everything. A quick story. A few months ago, I met a young woman on a train in London. She was reading an English novel. She understood almost every page. But when the ticket inspector asked, "Is this your final stop?" she froze. She smiled politely, then answered with only one word, "Yes." Later she laughed and said, "Emma, why can I understand English, but I can't speak it?" Maybe you've asked yourself the same question. If you have, you're not alone. Thousands of learners feel exactly the same every single day. But here's the interesting part. It isn't because they're bad at English. It's because they're practicing the wrong way. And in a few minutes, I'll show you the small change that makes speaking feel much easier. But first, let's discover why this happens. Why does English stay inside your head? Imagine this. You watch an English podcast. Everything makes sense. You smile. You understand the jokes. You even guess the next sentence. Your brain quietly says, "Great, I know English." Then someone asks you, What did you do this weekend? Your brain suddenly starts searching. One word, another word, then grammar, then pronunciation. Everything happens at the same time. It's like opening 10 different doors at once. No wonder speaking feels slow. Here's the secret. Good speakers don't build every sentence from zero. They collect small pieces of English again and again until those pieces become automatic. That's why today's episode is different. We're not chasing perfect English. We're building easy English that comes out naturally. And before I show you our first practice, let me ask you something. When you make tea, do you boil the water first? Or after you pour it into the cup? Of course. You boil it first. Speaking works the same way. Your brain also needs preparation. Not more pressure. Preparation. And today, you'll learn how to prepare your English before real conversations happen. Practice 1. This first practice sounds almost too simple. But don't skip it. Because this little habit has helped many learners speak with more confidence. Here's the idea. Don't wait for a long conversation. Create tiny English moments throughout your day. Only 20 seconds. Only one sentence. That's enough. For example, you're putting your backpack into the car before work. Quietly say, "Everything's packed, I'm ready to go." You're standing in line at a bakery. Say, "I hope the cinnamon rolls are still warm." You're waiting for a green traffic light. Say, "Oh, looks like it's going to be busy today." Notice something. These are not textbook sentences. They're real life. They're the kind of English people actually think every day. And because they're connected to your real life, your brain remembers them more easily. Here's something fun. Tomorrow morning, try saying just one English sentence before checking your phone. That's it. One sentence. No pressure. No audience. No fear. Just you and your English. It may feel a little strange on the first day. That's okay. Every new habit feels strange before it feels normal. Mini speaking challenge. Ready? Let's try together. I'll speak slowly. You repeat after me. I'm ready for a new day. Very nice. Again. I'll speak a little English today. Excellent. One more. Small steps help me improve. Perfect. See? You already spoke 3 complete English sentences. Not perfectly, but naturally. And that's what matters. Now here's a question to think about. What if the biggest problem isn't your vocabulary? What if it's simply that your brain doesn't get enough chances to use the words you already know? We'll answer that next. Because in the next part, I'll show you a practice that many confident speakers do without even realizing it. It takes only 2 minutes, but it can completely change the way English feels in your mouth. And once you discover it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Let's continue in next part. Welcome back, my friend. Before we move on, I have a small question. Have you ever heard someone speak English and thought, wow, they sound so natural? Then you looked at the words and realized they're actually very simple. Why does that happen? Here's the answer. Natural English isn't only about what people say. It's also about how they say it. The rhythm, the pauses, the relaxed voice, the little smile you can hear. Today, we'll practice that together. And don't worry, you don't need a perfect accent. You don't need to sound British. You don't need to sound American. You don't need to sound Australian. You just need to sound like you, speaking clearly and calmly. That's enough. Practice 2. Copy the feeling. Here's a mistake many learners make. They copy every word, but forget the feeling. Imagine a man in Canada leaving work on Friday afternoon. His friend asks, "Ready for the weekend?" He doesn't answer like a robot. He smiles. He relaxes. Then says, "Absolutely. I can't wait to switch off for a couple of days." The words are easy, but the relaxed feeling makes them sound natural. Now imagine a woman in Scotland walking her dog on a cool morning. Another walker smiles. "Lovely morning, isn't it?" She answers, "It really is. Nice to get some fresh air." Nothing difficult. Just calm, comfortable, real English. That's our goal. A tiny story. When I first started learning another language, I copied every single word perfectly. But people still looked confused. One day, a friend smiled and said, "Emma, you're saying the right words, but your voice sounds like you're reading a shopping list." We both laughed, but she was right. So I changed one thing. Instead of copying words, I copied the speaker's energy, their pauses, their smile, their relaxed breathing. Slowly, people understood me much more easily. Not because my grammar changed, because my rhythm changed. Sometimes, small changes create the biggest results. 2-minute voice routine. Let's make this practical. Tomorrow, choose one short podcast clip. Only 20 seconds. Listen once. Don't speak yet. Just notice the rhythm. Now play it again. Pause after every sentence. Copy the feeling. Not perfectly. Naturally. Finally. Play it one more time. This time, Speak together with the host, like you're walking beside them. That's it. Only 2 minutes. No stress. But if you do this every day, your mouth starts remembering English. And that's exactly what we want. Repeat after me. Ready? Relax your shoulders. Take a small breath. Smile a little. Good. Now repeat after me. That sounds like a good idea. Excellent. Again. This time, slowly. That sounds like a good idea. Wonderful. Now another one. I'll figure it out. Very good. One more. Let's see what happens. Perfect. Did you notice something? These are sentences people really use. At work, while traveling, meeting friends, buying coffee, talking with neighbors. Real English. For real life. Small mistake. Easy fix. Many learners stop speaking after every word. I need to leave. Instead, think in small groups. Listen. I need to leave. One smooth idea, not 4 separate words. Here's another one. I'll call you later. One idea, one flow, one breath. Your English instantly sounds more natural. 30-second listening game. Let's play. Imagine you're sitting on a train in Germany. A family is talking nearby. You don't understand every word. That's okay. Today, don't chase every word. Instead, listen for one useful sentence. Only one. Maybe you hear, "We're almost there." Great. Repeat it quietly. We're almost there. Congratulations. You just collected another real English sentence. That's how fluency grows. One useful sentence, then another. Now here's something interesting. What if I told you the biggest reason people translate every sentence isn't because their English is weak? It's because their brain never learned to think in small English moments. And the good news? You can start changing that in less than 3 minutes a day. In the next part, I'll show you one simple habit that many fluent speakers use without noticing. It doesn't need a notebook. It doesn't need a teacher. It doesn't even need another person. But once you start, you'll notice English appearing naturally while you're cooking dinner, walking through the park, waiting at a bus stop, or watching the rain through your window. And that's when English slowly becomes part of your life, instead of just another subject to study. I'll see you in next part. Welcome back. I'm really glad you're still here. That tells me something. You haven't given up on your English. And honestly, that's already a big win. Now, can I ask you one more question? When you're alone, what language do you use inside your mind? Most people answer, my own language. Of course, that's normal. But here's something interesting. Fluent English speakers don't suddenly become fluent because they know thousands of words. They become fluent because their brain gets used to thinking in English before speaking in English. That tiny difference changes everything. And today, I'll show you an easy way to start. No pressure. No difficult grammar. Just one small daily habit. Practice 3. Narrate your day. Don't try to think about everything. Just describe what you're doing. As you're doing it, very simple. Imagine it's Saturday morning. You're making breakfast. Instead of staying silent, say quietly, the toast is almost ready. I'll add a little butter. This smells really good. Simple, natural, useful. Now imagine you're leaving your apartment in Amsterdam. You check your pocket. I've got my keys. I almost forgot my headphones. The weather feels cooler today. Again, nothing difficult. These are the little thoughts people have every day. And that's exactly why this works. You're training your brain with real life, not textbook life. A story you might recognize. A listener once sent me a message. He said, Emma, I know many English words, but when I speak, my mind goes completely blank. I asked him one question. What do you think about while you're walking your dog? He laughed. Nothing. I just walk. So I gave him a challenge. For 1 week, every evening, he described his walk in easy English. The park is quiet. That bird is flying low. Someone is riding a bike. Only 1 minute. 7 days later, he sent another message. This time he said, something strange happened. I started thinking in English without trying. See? That's what we're building. Not perfection. A new habit. The 3-minute walk routine. Tomorrow. Try this. Go outside. Walk slowly. For only 3 minutes. Look around. Don't translate. Just notice. The street is busy. That cafe looks cozy. Someone is waiting for the bus. A child is laughing. The wind feels nice. That's enough. 3 minutes. Your brain loves small wins. And small wins become big confidence. Mini challenge. Ready? Let's play together. I'll ask. You answer aloud. No overthinking. Just speak. You're walking into a supermarket. What do you say? Maybe. I only need a few things. Good. Now, you're looking for your wallet. What do you say? Where did I put it? Excellent. Now, your phone battery is very low. Say it. I need to charge my phone. Perfect. See? You're already using English for real situations. A small secret. Can I tell you something? Many learners think, I need bigger vocabulary. Maybe. But often, you don't. You need faster access to the words you already know. Imagine your vocabulary is like clothes in a wardrobe. Everything is there. But if every shirt is folded into a messy, it takes forever to find one. Daily speaking organizes that wardrobe, little by little. Soon, the words appear much faster. Don't fear silence. Here's another mistake. Someone asks you, how was your weekend? You panic. You think, I need a perfect answer. No, you don't. Try something simple. It was relaxing. Pause. I stayed home. Pause. I watched a movie. That's real conversation. Native speakers pause too. Silence isn't failure. Silence is thinking. So don't race. Slow English is good English. Clear English is confident English. Future you. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine it's 3 months from now. You're on holiday in Portugal. You walk into a small bakery. You smile. You order without fear. You understand the answer. You even ask one more question. When you leave, you don't think, my English was perfect. You think, I actually did it. That feeling is worth every small practice you do today. But wait, there's still one problem. What happens when you know a word today and completely forget it tomorrow? That happens to almost everyone. So, how do fluent speakers remember useful English without reading the same list again and again? The answer surprises many people. It has almost nothing to do with memorizing. Instead, it uses something your brain already loves. And once you learn it, remembering English becomes much easier. We'll explore that together in next part, and I think it might become your favorite practice yet. Welcome back, my friend. You're doing something today that many people never do. You're not just listening. You're training your brain. And every minute you stay here, your English becomes a little stronger. Not because you're working harder, but because you're working smarter. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever learned a new English phrase? Thought, I'll definitely remember this. And then 2 days later, it completely disappeared? You aren't lazy. You aren't bad at languages. Your brain is simply saying, you didn't use it, so I stored it away. The good news? We can change that very easily. Practice 4. Bring it back. Instead of learning 20 new phrases every day, choose only 3. Yes, only 3. Because using 3 phrases is much more powerful than reading 30. Here's an example. Imagine you're finishing work in Manchester. You feel tired. 3 useful phrases could be, that took longer than I expected. I'm ready to head home. Tomorrow is a fresh start. Now don't just read them. Use them. When you leave your desk, say them quietly. When you're walking to your car, say one again. Later that evening, use another one. Your brain hears, oh, this phrase is important, and it keeps it. That's the secret. Not more learning, more returning. A story from everyday life. A listener from Sweden once wrote to me. She said, Emma, every Sunday I study English for 3 hours. I asked, what do you do on Monday? She replied, nothing. Tuesday? Nothing. Wednesday? Nothing. Then she laughed. Maybe that's my problem. Exactly. Learning isn't like filling a bucket. It's like watering a small plant. A little water, again and again, helps it grow. One huge bucket once a week, most of it disappears. Your English grows the same way. The 5-minute return routine. Let's make this easy. Every evening, take just 5 minutes. Minute 1. Remember one phrase you heard today. Don't check your notes first. Try to pull it from your memory. Minute 2. Say it out loud. Slowly. Minute 3. Create your own sentence. Minute 4. Imagine saying it to a real person. Minute 5. Smile. And repeat it one last time. Done. That's it. 5 minutes. Your brain loves remembering. It just needs a little invitation. Repeat after me. Ready? Let's practice. Say it naturally. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Excellent. Again. Everything worked out in the end. Very good. One more. That made my day a little better. Perfect. These aren't exam sentences. They're life sentences. People use them every day. On trains. in cafes, at work, while calling friends. That's why they're worth remembering. Tiny mistake, big difference. Here's something I see all the time. A learner forgets one word and stops speaking. For example, I went to stop, take a breath, keep moving. You can say, I can't remember the word, but it's the place where you buy medicine. The other person understands. Conversation continues. That's real communication. Fluent speakers do this too. They don't know every word. They know how to keep talking. And that's a skill. 30-second memory challenge. Let's play. Don't write anything down. Just listen. Here are 3 phrases. It's worth a try. I'll think about it. What a pleasant surprise. Now, without looking back, can you remember them? Take a moment. How many did you remember? 1? 2? All 3? Whatever your answer, you're training your memory. And every time you do this, your recall becomes faster. A quiet mindset shift. Can I share one more secret? Please stop asking yourself, how many words did I learn today? Instead, ask, how many words did I actually use today? That one question can completely change your progress. Because English isn't a collection. It's a conversation. Words become powerful only when they leave your mouth. A little picture. Imagine you're learning to ride a bicycle. Reading about balance helps. Watching videos helps. But sooner or later, you have to get on the bike. Speaking English is exactly the same. The first ride feels shaky. The second feels easier. The 10th feels normal. So don't wait until you feel fearless. Start while you're still a little nervous. Confidence follows action. It rarely comes before it. Now we've learned how to build tiny English moments. Copy natural rhythm. Think in English. And remember useful phrases. But there's one final piece. The piece that connects everything. It's the daily habit that quietly transforms learners into confident speakers. It doesn't take an hour. It doesn't feel like studying. In fact, it can become the most enjoyable part of your day. In next part, I'll share that simple daily speaking habit, along with a real transformation story that reminds us of one important truth. You don't become fluent by waiting for confidence. You become confident by speaking a little, every single day. Welcome back, my friend. Can I tell you something? I'm really proud of you. You've stayed with me until now. That means you're not looking for a shortcut. You're building a real skill. And real skills Take small daily steps, not giant jumps. Now, imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you're going to buy a coffee. Or maybe you're picking up lunch. Or maybe you're meeting someone at work. Here's my question. What if you could practice that conversation before it even happens? That's today's final practice. And honestly, it might become your favorite. Practice 5. Live the conversation before it happens. Many learners wait for English to surprise them. Instead, let's surprise English. Before a real conversation, practice it in your mind. Not for 20 minutes, just for 2. Imagine you're walking into a small cafe in Dublin. You quietly say, "Hi, could I get a flat white, please?" The barista smiles. "Anything else?" You answer, "That's all, thank you." Done. Now imagine you're at a train station in Berlin. You ask, "Excuse me, which platform goes to the city center?" Or maybe you're meeting a new colleague in Toronto. "Hi, I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you. How's your first week going?" Notice something. These aren't difficult conversations. They're everyday moments. And everyday moments build everyday confidence. A story that changed my thinking. A listener named Sophia sent me a lovely message. She said, "Emma, I always stayed quiet because I was afraid of making mistakes. One day, she decided to change one thing. Every evening, she imagined tomorrow's conversations. Before going to the supermarket, she practiced asking for a shopping bag. Before visiting the dentist, she practiced saying, 'I have an appointment at 10. Before meeting a friend, she practiced asking, 'How have you been?' At first, it felt a little funny, but after a few weeks, something amazing happened. She wasn't searching for words anymore, because her brain had already walked through the conversation once. She told me, for the first time, speaking didn't feel scary. It felt familiar. That sentence stayed with me, because that's exactly what we're trying to create. Not perfect English, familiar English. The 5-minute speak out routine. Let's build one final habit together. Only 5 minutes. Minute 1. Picture tomorrow. Ask yourself, where will I go tomorrow? Work? School? The gym? A shop? Choose one place. Minute 2. Imagine one conversation. Only one. Don't create a movie. Create a moment. Someone smiles. You smile back. Simple. Minute 3. Say 3 sentences. For example, good morning. I'm looking for this address. Thanks. Have a great day. Only 3 sentences. That's enough. Minute 4, change one small thing. Now make it different. Instead of morning, imagine evening. Instead of sunshine,
imagine rain.
instead of a shop, imagine a bus stop. Your brain learns flexibility. Minute 5, smile and finish. Take one deep breath. Say, I can handle small conversations. That's your finish line. 5 minutes. Every day. Repeat after me. Ready? Let's speak together. I'm getting better every day. Beautiful. Again. I don't need perfect English. Excellent.
One more.
I just need to keep speaking. Perfect. Now say this one with confidence. One conversation can change my day. Wonderful. Did you hear yourself? That's not just practice anymore. That's progress. A tiny challenge for tomorrow. Here's your mission. Tomorrow, speak English for just 5 minutes. Not while studying. While living. While making breakfast. Walking to your car. Waiting for the lift. Taking your evening walk. Watering the plants. Folding your clothes. Choosing a movie. Real life. Real English. That's where confidence grows. The biggest secret. Can I leave you with one final thought before we finish? Many people believe fluent speakers are fearless. They're not. They simply keep talking, even when they're unsure. They don't wait until every sentence is perfect. They communicate. They smile. They try again. And every conversation teaches them something new. You can do exactly the same. Imagine it's 6 months from today. You're traveling. A stranger asks you for directions. This time, you don't panic. You don't freeze. You smile. You answer. Maybe not perfectly, but clearly. The conversation ends. You keep walking. Then suddenly, you realize something. You didn't translate. You simply spoke. And you'll smile to yourself because you'll remember this episode. The day you stopped chasing perfect English and started building real English. Coming up in next part. Welcome back, my friend. If you're still listening, I want you to stop for just a moment. Take a slow breath. Now think about something. 25 minutes ago. How did you feel? Maybe nervous. Maybe frustrated. Maybe thinking, my English isn't good enough. And now? I hope one small thing has changed. Not your grammar. Not your accent. Your mindset. Because that's where every confident speaker begins. Let's remember today's journey. We didn't chase difficult words. We didn't memorize long grammar rules. We did something much more important. We learned how to make English part of everyday life. Let's remember our 5 simple practices. Practice 1. Build tiny English moments. Don't wait for the perfect time. Use English in tiny moments. While making breakfast. While opening the front door. While waiting for the traffic lights. 1 sentence. 1 moment. Every day. Small moments become big progress. Practice 2. Copy the feeling. Don't only copy words. Copy calm voices. Copy natural pauses. Copy friendly energy. Because people don't connect with perfect English. They connect with real people. Practice 3. Narrate your day. Talk about your life while you're living it. The train is arriving. I'll grab my jacket. It's getting colder outside. Your life becomes your English classroom. And the best part? It's always open. Practice 4. Bring it back. Don't collect hundreds of phrases. Keep returning to a few useful ones. Use them today, tomorrow, next week. That's how your brain says. This is important. And that's how English stays with you. Practice 5. Live the conversation before it happens. Before tomorrow begins. Imagine tomorrow. Practice 1 real conversation. Only 2 or 3 sentences. When the moment finally arrives, it won't feel new. It will feel familiar. And familiar things feel much less scary. 1 last story. Before we say goodbye, let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. A man once wrote to our community. He was in his early 60s. He said, "Emma, I think I'm too old to become fluent." That message made me stop for a moment. So I asked him, "Why do you think that?" He replied, "Because everyone else speaks faster than me." I smiled. Then I wrote back, "Fast isn't the goal. Clear is the goal. Kind is the goal. Being understood is the goal." A few months later, he sent another message. This time it was different. He had visited Scotland. He ordered breakfast, asked for directions, spoke with another traveler in the hotel lobby. None of those conversations were perfect, but every one of them was real. At the end of his message, he wrote something I'll never forget. For the first time, I stopped trying to sound impressive. I just wanted to connect with people. And somehow, my English became much better. Not perfect words, real connection. Your 7-day Speak Better Challenge. I'd love for you to try something this week. Nothing difficult. Just one small challenge each day. Day 1. Say 5 English sentences before you check your phone. Day 2. Learn one useful phrase and use it 3 times. Day 3. Describe your evening walk for 3 minutes. Day 4. Listen to 1 minute of English and copy the speaker's rhythm. Day 5. Practice tomorrow's conversation before you go to sleep. Day 6. Record your voice for 1 minute. Don't judge it. Just listen with kindness. Day 7. Have one short conversation in English. Even if it's only, "Good morning. Thank you. Have a great day." 7 small days. 1 new habit. That's how confidence grows. One final thought. Please don't compare yourself with someone who's been learning English for 10 years. Compare yourself with the person you were last month. Maybe today you understand 1 more sentence. Maybe today you spoke 1 sentence without translating. Maybe today you smiled instead of feeling nervous. Those are victories. Celebrate them, because every fluent speaker you admire started exactly where you are now. 1 word, 1 sentence, 1 conversation at a time. Before we go, can I ask you for 1 small promise? The next time someone asks, "How's your English going?" don't say it's impossible. Instead, smile and say, "I'm getting better every day." Because you are. Maybe slowly, maybe quietly, but you're moving forward. And that's what matters. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly enjoyed being part of your day. Whether you were walking through your neighborhood, driving home after work, sitting on a train, relaxing in your room, or simply taking a little break, I'm really glad we shared these moments together. Remember, English is not another school subject. It's a bridge to new friends, new journeys, new jobs, new books, new ideas, and new memories. Keep taking 1 small step every day. I'll be here, waiting for you in our next episode. Until then, take care of yourself. Keep smiling. Keep listening. Keep speaking. And remember, small English every day creates big confidence. Bye for now, my friend. I'll see you very soon.